Nigeria's president's delegation discusses trade relations issues with Ethiopian Airlines top management as residents of Chika and Aleta communities who encroached on the Abuja Technology Village land risk demolition. Welcome to Panorama today with me, Zenret Dingmoon. A delegation of the Nigeria's president has met with the top management of Ethiopian Airlines to address various trade relations issues. The delegation, directed by President Bola Tinubu, was led by the Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, NIA, Ahmed Abubakar. The Ethiopian Airlines had raised a number of issues which could affect its operations and relations with Nigeria. After the meeting in Addis Ababa, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Foreign Affairs and International Relations, Shola Enikon Olaye, briefed State House correspondents.
They raised a number of issues, fundamental issues affecting our relation between the Ethiopian Airline and us, Nigeria, and the Nigerian government. Of course, I can't give you details of those. We will be reporting back to Mr. President faithfully, honestly, and dutifully, and then he will consider the report and give appropriate instructions to our aviation authorities, particularly the Honorable Minister of Aviation. That was the purpose. Let me just add that those issues are issues that, we need to address so as to smoothen relations and, meet the aspirations of the Nigerian people as well as their own side, and again to advance government agenda on the aviation sector.
It was a very productive meeting. We are very happy on the outcome of the discussion, and we will continue serving the Nigerian public through Ethiopian Airlines flights.
Ethiopian Airlines is one of the largest carriers flying into Nigeria. Now, residents of Chika and Aleta communities in the Abuja Municipal Area Council who have encroached on the land belonging to the Abuja Technology Village are advised to relocate or risk demolition. FCT Minister Nyesom Wike read out the riot acts during an inspection tour of the facility in Abuja. Onoze Yakubu brings us details.
The Abuja Technology Village, despite the road infrastructure already provided, has no meaningful physical development on the earmarked plot. This has resulted in the encroachment of the plots. It is in the light of this that the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, together with his science and technology counterpart, Uche Godfrey Nnaji, inspected the facility to chart a way forward.
This place is going to house in a couple of years will be humongous. This is the kind of thing my brother, the Honorable Minister, His Excellency Wike, would like to identify with. So we are here. We are not impressed with what is happening here.
Nyesom Wike directed the Development Control Department to address the situation.
If you don't take action, people will not believe that anything is possible. As I go back now, I will call the Development Control and give them ultimatum for these people to leave. They have been compensated since 2015.
The Abuja Technology Village, established by the federal government, is a technology park concept that will facilitate knowledge transfer, leveraging on research. It is located along the Umaru Musa Yar'Adua Expressway. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
Screening of incoming passengers at Nigeria's international airports is set to go digital. Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo gave the indication after inspecting the newly installed e-gate pass at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Victor Azu reports.
Delays have been a spoiler in Nigeria's international travel system. But that is set to change as the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunjojo, arrives the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, to inspect newly installed e-gate passes designed for quick checks and less physical contact with immigration officials at the international terminals.
We'll be able to deliver by March, because not just Abuja, we're looking at delivering about 16 in Lagos, then about five in Kano, 4 in Enugu, and 4 in Port Harcourt. It's about 30 seconds, to clear an individual, which is a record time anywhere in the world.
Done from the airport, the minister heads for the Nigeria Immigration Service headquarters to take a look at the Command and Control Center, which is said to be 70% completed.
The Command and Control Center, as you can see, is more than 70% ready. I learned that all their equipment are already on ground, including the servers, and the contractor has given me his word that in the next 3 weeks, this place will be 100% ready. So it means that the e-immigration project, the border control management project, the automation of border control system is on course.
It's a development that will delight international travelers who will now be counting down to the next 3 weeks. In Abuja, Victor Azo, NTA News.
A review of the Child Rights Act, establishment of a juvenile court, children's correctional centers for proper societal reintegration alongside collation of accurate data about children's welfare in states formed part of a 2-day training in Uyo. The aim is to build capacity of principal officers of states' Child's Rights Implementation Committee in the South-South geopolitical zone. Emediong Umo reports.
Children are the building blocks of any nation. It is on this note that principal officers of State's Child Rights in Implementation Committee gather to brainstorm on ways to improve the welfare of children in various states for holistic data collation. Acting Director, Child Development, representing Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Ohaneye, acknowledged that some of the states have passed the child rights law, hence the need for the stakeholders to get acquainted with the provisions as well as the operational function of the law.
This training we are holding now is to build their capacity. You cannot give what you don't have.
Can we synchronize the age of the child in our child rights law?
We felt that a starting point is to build their capacities.
The aim of the training, according to stakeholders, is to initiate policies, advocate the establishment of structures for children's welfare, among others.
Ensure proper implementation of the child rights law in the state, and also improve on reporting of the state child rights implementation committee to the National Child Rights Implementation Committee.
What we want to achieve here today is to ensure that the Child Rights Implementation Committee at the state level is well equipped.
It is the hope of the people that child abuse, violence, neglect, and exploitation of children will be reduced to the barest minimum. In Uyo, Emediong Umo, NTA News.
The Abuja Environmental Protection Board says it will not relent in its efforts at ridding the city of illegal squatters who have made underbridges their home. Director AEPB Osilama Brima and the head of operations Kakabelo stated this when they led night and day clearing exercises at some locations of Abuja. Abdullahi Ajia reports.
In line with its statutory mandate of sanitizing the federal capital city, the AEPB's recent routine onslaught against illegal shanties and nuisance perceived to be hideouts for criminals and miscreants has removed many of these structures, with many arrests made during the day and night enforcement operations.
We have increased our activities because we've realized that these shanties also pose as hideouts for criminals and miscreants in the city. So we're going to sustain this effort for the next 3 months. This is what we are funded to do, and we have strict instructions from the administration, Honorable Minister, to rid the city of miscreants and all nuisances.
AEPB officials say this exercise is being stepped up and will be sustained until the desired results are achieved.
In most of the junctions we visited, you see hawkers, you also see destitutes, you see some women and children selling on the street, sitting on the island. Apart from the fact that this commercial activity on the road is illegal, it's also not good for the safety of the children. We have made a seizure of illicit drug, as you can see. I assure you they will be charged to court.
Hawking, trading and destitutes operating on the city's road corridors are not allowed, as the agency advises them to operate within designated locations or face sanctions. In Abuja, Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
Let's now pause for some messages. Panorama returns shortly.
The counsel of our fathers.
I will urge and advise our younger generation to use talent and brain to sort out problems, not arms.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation.
My advice to these young people is please do not take us back to those harrowing days. You probably do not know what it is.
I believe we have fought one civil war too many in this country. So those who experience it will run away from it.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation together.
Thanks for saying this. Now, a zookeeper at the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, was reportedly killed by a lion. Now, we're being joined by our correspondent, Femi Afariogun, who is at the university for a live update on the development. Hello, Femi. What's the situation there now?
The atmosphere here is that of mourning. The university community is mourning the passing away of a zookeeper that was killed by a lion yesterday. The university PRO is here with me to shed more light on what happened and what the steps taken by the institution. I have with me Mr. Olariwaju, the university PRO. What is the situation like?
Well, the situation is calm, but we are more or less in a mourning mood because of what transpired yesterday, where we lost Mr. Bode Olawi. But they had been in charge of the zoo, being the veterinary technologist, taking care of the lions and other wild cats there for the past 12 years. And it is on record that even these two lions, were born in the presence of Bode, and he's been taking care of them for the past 9 years. So we didn't know what came over the main lion yesterday, that he decided to attack first a woman who bought their food, and it was the woman that Bode wanted to rescue that made the aggressive lion to now attack Bode. And the other members of staff who were there could not, save Bode because of the aggression of the male lion. So they had to call the security operatives of the university, who came in with their weapons, and before they could arrive, the lion had inflicted severe fatalities on Bode. So we had to call on the medical and health center of the university personnel, the medical doctors led by their acting director, who came, whatever they did, first aid and other medical efforts. But unfortunately, we lost Bode.
How many lions do you have in the zoo?
Yes, we have 2.
So what is happening currently with the zoo? Is it still open to members of the public?
Of course, we will be insulting the dead if we should open the zoo to the public today. So at least we have to honor the dead. And then custom demands that we should give, we should sympathize with ourselves, and particularly the members of the family.
What are you doing to prevent future reoccurrence of this?
Well, the Vice Chancellor has ordered full-scale investigation into the immediate and remote causes of this, and after the submission of the report, they will know what to do and how to do it.
Thank you very much, sir.
Pleasure.
Thanks for listening. I've been speaking with the PRO of the Obafemi Awolowo University in Ife, who shed light on what really transpired yesterday. He said the lion attacked a woman, and in an effort to save the woman, the zookeeper was also attacked. So that is the situation for now here at Obafemi Awolowo University.
Thank you so much, Femi, for the update. Now, a stakeholders meeting on legislation against HIV discrimination in Kogi State has held in Lokoja. The meeting aims at establishing partnerships for implementing projects to protect the rights of people living with HIV in the state. Salman Ayedin reports.
An estimated 3.8 million people are living with HIV in Nigeria, the second largest globally after South Africa. In Kogi State, however, the prevalence rate of the disease is 0.9%. This statistics calls for concern. Barely 6 years to the expiration of 2030 targets set by the World Health Organization to end HIV as a public health menace, issues bordering on discrimination and stigmatization of HIV patients remain a challenge, inhibiting progress in achieving the 95% target on knowing HIV status, treatment, and viral suppression towards eradicating HIV globally. The stakeholders capacity building meeting in Lokoja on proposed Kogi State anti-stigma and discrimination bill campaign project aims to generate awareness on the issue and establish partnerships towards implementing the project in the state.
If you know that when you come out to receive care, you will be mocked at, you will be stigmatized, you won't come. And the disease you will not know, the disease will continue to multiply.
Structural discriminatory actions that have been taken against persons who are living with HIV, and because of that, a lot of them are not agreeing to stay in treatment, and many of the young persons are not agreeing to optics services. And that's why we say it's right time for call stakeholders back and say, let's re-look at these issues and see what we can do about it.
Stigmatization, particularly denial of treatment of people living with HIV, refusal of admission to school, access denial to places of worship, credit or mortgage were among reasons stakeholders are advocating for a speedy process of the bill to protect and guarantee the right of people living with HIV in Lokoja. Solomon Ayedehi, NTA News.
The Minister of State for Defense, Bello Mohammed Matawale, has reaffirmed the ban on unauthorized use of military camouflage, stressing that only the armed forces and the Nigeria Police Force on joint operations with the military are allowed by law to use the military camouflage. The ban is in view of recurring cases of criminals disguising as military and paramilitary personnel to cause havoc in the society, noting that government's ban on other paramilitary agencies from the use of the military camouflage is to bring sanity to the system and checkmate criminal activities. Now, the Nigeria Police Force says it is committed to enforcing all laws and putting in place anti-crime strategies to curb illegal activities at the various ports and around economic hubs in the country. A statement by the force indicates that the commitment was re-echoed when the Eastern Port Police Command confirmed the arrest of 5 suspects in connection with the diversion of bags of wheat belonging to the United Nations World Food Programme and recovery of about 1,238 bags of wheat in Port Harcourt on the 6th of this month. The statement adds that about 1,840 bags of wheat which were to be transported from Ibeto Port Terminal, Port Harcourt, to an internally displaced persons camp in Kano State were fraudulently diverted by the drivers tasked with the assignment alongside their accomplices. Manufacturers of cement have agreed to peg the price of a bag of the product between 7,000 and 8,000 naira. This was after a meeting with the Minister of Works and his counterpart in Industry, Trade and Investment. Abdullahi Mohammed reports.
It was a meeting which held behind closed doors, with the manufacturers citing high cost of production and smuggling as the bottom line.
For example, the gas that we use to, power our kiln and power plants, was indexed to, or still indexed to dollars. So we were paying at the rate of 418, then 750. Today we are paying at over 1,514 naira a dollar.
The Minister of Works and that of Industry, Trade and Investment agreed to seek for intervention on behalf of the manufacturer.
We agreed that the Honorable Minister for Trade, Industry and Investment will seek some remedies from His Excellency Mr. President on the high cost of gas they complained
that they are facing and the challenges that they are facing, to ensure that we have smoother operation and that the benefit of the backward integration program, especially in cement, is enjoyed and felt by every citizen in the country.
There was also a move by one of the manufacturers to inject more than 6,000 tons of cement into the system within the coming days. This also follows another move by the ministers to allow for 6 more players to join the wagon of cement production in the country. In Abuja, Abdullah Mohammed, NTA News.
Fumigation and surveillance on the newly detected H5N1, otherwise known as avian influenza, is ongoing in Kebbi State. This follows an outbreak of the disease on a peacock farm in the state. Usman Abdullahi Shehu has details.
Flu or H5N1, also known as avian influenza, is a type A influenza virus and lethal to poultry and is potentially fatal in humans. Bird flu spread between both wild and domesticated birds. It has also been passed from birds to humans who are in close contact with poultry or other birds. So when 14 peacocks were struck with the flu on a small peacock farm in Kebbi State, government swung into action to mitigate the spread. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Animal Health, Husbandry and Fisheries, Dr. Ahmed Umar Ambursa, on the active surveillance they are into to mitigate the spread.
We are on it. We will continue on active surveillance. The One Health component of the state are also working day and night to make sure that the human that are directly involved with this situation are being checked.
Veterinary doctors do visit us for sensitization on the dangers of the virus. Cases like this happened some years back. What we used to do was surveillance when we realize there is a symptom of a particular disease.
Some people who are into poultry business in the state express their readiness to cooperate with the government by reporting any case of symptoms in their birds. The veterinary zonal officers, local government disease surveillance and focal persons at the ward and community levels are also at alert in case of any discovery. In Birnin Kebbi, Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
Police officers' wives, led by the wife of the Inspector General of Police, Elizabeth Ibetoko, were in Asaba Delta State to engage with government on finding meaningful ways of ensuring safety of residents. The president of the Police Officers' Wives Association was at the government house, Asaba, as part of efforts to nip recent insecurity challenges in the bud. Tessie Coker reports.
The president is here in Delta State to have a feel of the plight of officers' wives, to offer encouragement and boost their morals as well as their safety in the state. She believes in the collaboration of the association with the state government to create an atmosphere of empowerment and growth.
As a mother, I cannot be in Abuja without coming down here to know how the families of our brave police officers are doing. The resilience and the strength displayed by these women managing households and responsibility in the absence of their spouses deserve a recognition. I am willing to contribute in any way possible to alleviate the challenges faced by these families.
Governor Berebori is pleased with power for working towards ensuring the sustainable welfare of police officers' families in the country.
I want to first of all congratulate your husband as Inspector General of Police and the wife of Inspector General of Police. For the period he has come in a lot of changes, and I can attest to it in my state there will be peace.
It is expected that the advocacy visit will give the women a sense of belonging. In Asaba, Tessie, Coca, NTA News.
And that's it on Panorama today. Thanks for your time.